Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 85 of Mr. Robin's Hood podcast. We are podcasting today from Studio C, where we are just under one errant off the green pitch shot through the window of hole number 2 of the Woodward, Oklahoma Municipal Golf Course. It is I, your fearless co-host and all-around somewhat decrepit.
Are you deceptively decrepit?
Robin Hohweiler, or Mr. Robin to you. I'm joined, as always, by my effervescent co-hosts, sporting a decidedly defiant winter look these days. Well, not really. Best pal forever.
I do what I can.
And all-around philosophical pain in my ass, the one, the only, Mikel Mauree Robinson, known throughout the podcasting uni as Mikey-on-the-Mic. As is often the case, dear patient listeners, we're lucky to even have Mikey with us today after a late night up in Alva, Oklahoma. And before we get started, we need to discuss the suspicious absence of civic responsibility displayed by my co-host yesterday.
What?
Mikey, yes.
I'm gonna quit telling
That
you stuff.
Mikey played hooky from her full-time, tireless, saint-adjacent job as a cat rescuer in Woodward, claiming that she was headed north to Alva for a wholesome evening of live music featuring Jason Boland and the Stragglers. And look, I get it. Great band and all that. No argument there. But as it turns out, that concert was merely a cover story. It seems that while the musicians were tuning and getting their beer line, and the beer lines were forming, Mikey was actually embedded, deep undercover, in a mass protest against a newly proposed federal statute aimed at limiting the cat distribution network, better known in clandestine feline circles as CDN, a shadowy, whisker-based organization whose motto, translated from the Latin, chillingly declares, "Feral schmeral, you must not resist when kitty comes to your home." That's right.
You're ridiculous.
While everyone was just trying to enjoy a song and Mr. Robin was tied up in a weekly episode of Svengoolie, Mikey was standing shoulder to shoulder with renegade tabbies, underground foster moms, and at least one weirdo who lives in a van in a dark alley but knows things, all chanting for feline freedom. So today's episode may sound like a normal podcast, but make no mistake, we are podcasting under protest, under surveillance, and possibly under a pile of cats. Over to you, Mikey.
Next time I'm going to bring my cats, and I'm going to hold them here while we podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
No, they won't stay for that. They'd be like, "No, woman, you're crazy." I do have 4 cats, though, that I saved without knowing.
Yeah,
that's how you get them. That's how you get them.
The patron saint of stupid cats.
Yeah, well, I'm the cat whisperer. But you have a cat now, too, so you don't have any room to talk anymore, Mr.
So we're kicking off the new year with another in our occasional series, Working, even though our video camera system isn't working so good. Or in this case, Working 2026. We're joined today by the seriously overachieving entrepreneurial mad dog, Kenton Baird, who just opened an art gallery here in Woodward that houses a couple of his other enterprises. And I'm going to read his bio.
I didn't know you were going to read it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is us introducing you.
Kenton Baird has been a passionate performer, artist, and musician since his acting debut in 2nd grade, gracing stages in numerous theater productions through high school and college. His acting journey began in 1977 with the Woodward Little Theater, now on stage Woodward. Recent theater credits include standout roles such as Joseph Pulitzer in Newsies, Ebenezer Scrooge in Ebenezer, A Christmas Altered Carol, and A Christmas Carol, a hired assistant in Sorry, Wrong Number, and multiple roles in his one-man show Dracula. The Journal of Jonathan Harker, which he also directed. Kenton has directed beloved productions like The Wizard of Oz, Shrek, and most recently, Steel Magnolias. A talented writer, he has adapted A Christmas Carol and Dracula for the stage and is crafting additional adaptations. Kenton has also penned 2 original plays, with his first set to premiere at the Woodward Arts and Theater Council in 2026. Kenton spent many years in the piano business, selling instruments in Colorado, Minnesota, and Arizona. He owned, along with his business partner, Encore Artisan Pianos and Fine Art in Tucson, Arizona, where he rekindled his love for painting. Kenton is an award-winning artist whose oil paintings adorn homes and offices across the United States and Italy. His first oil paintings were at age 12. He is the broker and owner of Northwest Real Estate, Nightmare in the Country Productions, and the Great Western Cattle Trail Gallery, The Trail. Kenton is honored to share his creative journey with audiences and looks forward to bringing his original work to life in 2026. Kenton, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now here we go. Yeah, we need some transition.
Oh, we're going to transition. You're going to find me. So I got to tell you about my cat.
Oh, you have a cat too.
Well,
Look.
I had a cat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But he went away.
Like he just
Well, I don't know.
vanished?
So one day he went out and then he just no longer came back in. And I don't know.
Huh.
We heard a skirmish and we have some big owls out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mr. Owl and Mr. Cat decided to have a party.
Well,
it can happen. That really can.
Yeah. Or coyotes.
Mhm.
Coyotes are horrible.
Quizzy, his name is Quizzy, and he would always jump up on either something to get away. And so he could get away from about anything. But an owl flies. It could have been an owl. I don't want to start your podcast with some like that. That's
no,
cool.
You're good though. That's just the real life thing. It doesn't help but that Mr. Robin was scrutinizing me and my cats to strike the thought in you. So
love.
Yeah, you do.
Well, he was talking about the cats. I had to share my cat.
Yes, that's great. And
I live on a farm.
Yeah,
so
it's very likely that an owl, those darn things, they'll get them.
Even a hawk.
Oh yeah.
Probably cares.
Or I thought maybe a bobcat. I've got some bobcats out near.
Yeah. They are completely elusive. I mean, they'll hide in like brush piles and stuff.
Yes. And
it's like every once in a while, I'll see something out of the corner of my eye if I'm out in the pasture. And I'd look, and it's not there, but then pretty soon here it comes, just popping over, chasing mice or pack rats or whatever happens to be out there. So yeah, no, they're out there. They really and truly are. And there's a lot of nasty predators out in the country.
There are.
Well, I've been told, and I've never seen anything about this at the museum, but I've been told that Indian Creek right there, that there's probably Bigfoots that lived out there. Is that
interesting?
True? Do we have Sasquatches running up and down that creek? I don't know.
Honestly, we did a whole podcast over Bigfoot. We are believers of Bigfoot. I believe it.
Vici, they've had them down in Vici, right?
Yeah,
I know that.
I have heard that.
Yeah,
and I have a whole theory about it. The reason we never see them is because they live in they're in some kind of parallel universe that they're able to pass through portals and stuff.
I've read that too.
I'm absolutely convinced of it.
Yep. I agree.
And well, we've had conversations before. I think I may know where there's a portal, but
really,
yeah.
Are you willing to share it with us? Wait, share it with everyone who's listening.
Yeah, right. We don't want to tell our secret.
No, I don't want to. But yeah.
They might try to steal our portal into the other world.
Because there's some weird stuff that goes on over there.
Well, listen, if you know the portal, Mikel, then you don't have to go to Alva and
That's true. I could just go to the portal and go wherever I want.
There you go.
Fancy. Yeah. Gonna work on that.
Okay, Kenton, I'm kind of interested in, let's see, you graduated in what year?
78.
78, okay.
78.
So, and then like me, as near as I can tell, you kind of disappeared for a long time. And I mean that in the sense that you moved away. Me, I absolutely did for 40 years before I came back. And we got back here, I think in 2015. And you had just done your one-man show of Dracula. And I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever heard in my life. And I was really sorry I had missed that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I left in 1987.
Oh, okay.
And I moved to Denver and different places, but I moved back in 2009.
Okay.
So I was back a few more years. And I like you probably, I was sitting in a big house in Denver in 2008, and the housing crisis was starting then. I thought, and after 3 payments, paying my house payment on my credit card, I said, enough of this.
Yeah.
So I got it sold and said, where am I going to move to? And I decided to move back to be near my parents. And so moved back and immediately got back involved with the theater.
Yeah.
And I had been involved with it back in 1977 when Woodward Little Theater got started.
Right.
And I did a couple of productions when I got back, and then I had this idea to do this one-man show. So we bought the rights. I started learning all the lines, and I was really pleased the way it turned out. And it kind of reinvigorated my love for the theater too. Because when I lived away, I lived in Tucson and Denver, big cities, and I just really didn't have a chance or time to get back involved with the theater. But moving back here, it's given me that. Been very blessed to be involved with Woodward Arts Theater and on Stage Woodward. Yeah.
And when I moved back here, I took a job with the Woodward News, that train wreck. And
I remember that though.
And I wanted to, because Halloween has always been kind of a special thing for me. It just always felt that way. And so I proposed to Johnny that I was going to kind of go out and tour around town and interview people. There are a few sort of haunted places around here. And one of them that I got into was with you.
I remember that.
And you were talking about an experience you had during your rehearsals for Dracula, I believe. And I wonder if you'd just say that again, recount it.
I might get some goose pimples telling the story. Well, I had heard when I moved back, I'd heard of the other stories that had Arts Theater.
Yeah.
Randy McCormick had shared with me some stories, and other people had shared stories of happenings down at the theater. But I was rehearsing Dracula. And it was about 10 o'clock at night, and I was sitting in the front row facing the stage. I had my dog there at the time. And my dog, Rez, was sitting on the stage looking at me, like he was on the stage looking at me, and I was looking at him on the stage. And I was reading my script, and this was 10 o'clock, 10:30, something like that. And I looked up because Rez had looked at, his head popped up and kind of looked around. It was quiet in there. I didn't hear anything. They looked around and I said, what do you hear? What do you see? And he finally just put his head back down. So I went back to kind of reading my script, and all of a sudden he jumps up and turns around and looks up into the fly system. And from up top someplace comes this one single rope, and it just starts to fall, and it fell. It looked like it fell in slow motion, and it fell, and it just in a little curl the whole way down, and it wound up in like a little curl there. This
wild.
And he was staring at it. I was sitting there in the chair, staring at it, and I don't know what caused it to do it. Caused it to do it at the time. But I told Rez, I said, let's go.
Yeah.
So
I'm done with that. I'm over that. Wow.
The only other time that I've experienced another, I've experienced an orb thing when I was videoing some stuff for Wizard of Oz. But the other thing, the cast of Wizard of Oz was down there working late until about 12:30. I'd already left. They were working on some of the sets. And about 12:30, well, let's back up. There was at the time a player, a cassette player, where it was a DVD player that played DVDs to play the soundtrack that we need to listen to, the orchestral track. And it was a push button unit. So it wasn't it wasn't electronic where you press a button, or it was an actual button you had to push and click down, right?
Right.
So all of a sudden the lights went off, and all the cast was on the stage were working, and it was off for I guess 2 or 3 minutes, and it scared them because all the power was out, and all of a sudden the power came back on, and the tape player or the CD player was in the balcony. That's where it was with all the other audio and visual stuff, and it started playing, and there was nobody up there.
Oh, wild.
And that button had been pushed.
Had to be physically pushed.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
It was a ghost.
You saw the Woodard Arts Theater.
So. Yeah, I mean, we've had some weird stuff happen at the museum too.
You got so much history there.
Yeah, and just, I mean, I really feel like spirits do attach themselves to objects, and so I feel like there's a lot of that goes on there. Although I'm not somebody who gets really wigged out. Yeah, it's kind of creepy when it happens, but I'm more just fascinated with the phenomenons that happen.
It doesn't seem malevolent.
Never, not at the museum at all. But most recent thing that just keeps happening is my light.
Yeah,
my desk light.
Desk light. It's like it's tapping out Morse code
or
something.
Really?
Yeah, we just stand there and watch it turn on and off, on and off, on and off. It's a motion, but nothing's motioning. I mean, maybe
it's
the
LED, so it's not like fluorescent. That would be.
It's wild. It almost happens daily right now. It's been happening daily. It's pretty creepy, but cool.
Watched on cameras. Like there was that one time we had had some art exhibit. It may have been the Paul
on
the high school stuff, and we had these panels going through the middle of the room, and there was one morning I came in. I was the first person in, and there was one of the pieces of art was off of the panel. But it wasn't like it had just fallen. It's like it had been thrown. And we actually backed up the security cameras, and you could see this thing fly off that panel.
Yeah.
Hit the floor.
Oh, no.
I mean, fly off there.
Yeah.
It definitely didn't just fall normally. No, we were like, whoa.
Did you say that?
Did we save that?
We may have
saved that. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, we had another thing in the gift shop just jump off a shelf too. Remember we backed it up and watched that too. It's just the craziest stuff.
Yeah. I just completed the Ghost Lectures, the play. And
right. Yep. And I watched that.
We having some objects, and I had objects on the stage. And so I started reading a lot about objects and how objects are attached to to beings or people that lived in the past. And I first kind of learned about that, because I own 2 hearses for Nightmare in the Country.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And so someone told me one time out there, they said, and then I got some stuff from a morgue to put in the haunt, like some like there's a prep table and all sorts of creepy little things, and some caskets, and the caskets were new, but what else did I get? And just some other things that was given to me out of a mortuary. But someone said, "Hey, Kenton, that's not good because your, spirits attach themselves to these things." So, and I've had a couple frightening experiences out there, but nothing major. It doesn't scare me to live out there at all.
Right.
But,
and that's a good segue.
Yeah.
Because I was under the impression you were giving up Nightmare in the Country for good. And I was really happy to see that you've kind of rolled it into the gallery and your real estate business. So it's you're planning to continue it or
Nightmare in the Country has evolved. When it started out, it was just Nightmare in the Country, and it was the haunted house out there. And then we developed, about 3 or 4 years later, we developed it into a park, and we called it Nightmare in the Country Scream Park.
Okay.
And that's when we built some additional buildings, and we, instead of just having one haunted house, we had, I think one year we had 6 going at the same time. And so, and then we had the stage out there, and we had just a lot of things happening. And that was what we called Nightmare in the Country Scream Park. I still have a lot of energy in me to put on productions and small events and things of that nature. But the big thing, the Scream Park that took us 8 months to put together. And then hiring the cast and getting all the support stuff that we needed, and the insurance and all that stuff that has passed. That's just too much for
well, how long did you actually do that, where people went to your haunted house or your Scream Park?
We started in 2009, and then we closed 2024. And then we didn't open the year of COVID, but so we had a good strong 15 years of.
Okay.
And it was, I mean, I miss it. I miss it terribly, but I don't miss the stress and that, because I was always worried about my guests and my cast members, and
sure.
And if you have to call an ambulance out there for something, oh my
God.
So I decided, no, let's do something let's scale it back a little bit. So the new place I have, the gallery space also can be converted very quickly to a recital space or a little black box theater where we can do small productions, one act plays, or
cool
improv, or maybe do some escape room type things. So there's all sorts of little things that we've kind of got on the agenda, maybe someday.
Oh, great. Boy, that's really cool.
Yeah, I actually, because I grew up not far from here, just an hour north, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, we drove over from Alva when you opened that.
Oh, okay.
And in 2009, I'm pretty sure we'd heard about it and came over. And then when I moved here and I worked for the radio station, you would always invite us out to
that's right,
do the first kind of walkthrough before anybody else. So then we could talk about it to help you promote it, and then it kind of gave everybody like a kind of a rehearsal, because I mean, you think that it's a haunted house, it's a scream park, but I mean, you're acting, I mean, you're performing, and then that adds to the experience, really.
Sure.
So I always look forward to that when I was there.
I used to tell our cast that you're on and your show begins every 3 minutes, right? Every time someone comes through.
Yep.
And a lot of my cast members didn't realize it was so much work.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a lot of work.
it is.
Oh,
And
sure.
especially some of those nights we were there till 2 and 3 o'clock in the
Well,
morning.
yeah.
Wow.
Patrons coming through.
Yeah, I mean, they were just all night.
Yeah.
For what did you do it for the whole month of October, or
the first year I think we did it a couple of 3 weekends, but when we got some statewide rankings and then we got some national rankings, we kind of blossomed, and so we decided we better open up. And so I think one year we opened up a couple weekends into September, but that's just too much. I mean, oh my, just every weekend. And I joked with somebody recently. I think this October, I think I'm going to take off and do something. I haven't been to the state fair in September,
you were already
October,
prepping for that,
yeah.
And I don't think people realize how much work goes into putting something like that on and running it. I mean, essentially it was like a second job.
Yeah,
It's
always going to hold a special place in my heart because the cool thing about you mentioned entrepreneur earlier. I feel like I'm kind of an entrepreneurial type guy.
Yeah, you definitely are. I would say it's fair.
I was thinking back when we were thinking about the name. I can remember Marla and I sitting there that day. We were trying to think of a name to name this thing, and Marla, I think, said, "Well, how about Nightmare in the Country?" I thought, "Well, that's cool." So I quickly Googled it. Nothing popped up.
Yeah.
So I bought the rights, and and I got the trade name and locked in Nightmare in the Country.
Yeah.
And it's cool after doing that, and after a 15-year run of being able to say that 20 years ago Nightmare in the Country didn't exist, but now it exists in the minds of all these people all over. So
absolutely. I mean, people, I know whenever, I was working at the radio station and we were coming out there, I usually would come another time, actually get tickets and come, but I would run into kids from where I grew up. I mean, people came from all over because, I mean, you live in this part of the world. You kind of got to travel to do anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you really kind of hit the tri-state area for sure, and probably further than that. I'm sure you had people from further than that, but
I don't know if I remember right. I remember when Carol Ann and Dan Parsons had the steakhouse here, but she came to me one day and she said, "Kenton," she said, "I got to tell you a story." She said, "We had 20 people having dinner," and she said, "I always ask." Well, we talk to different people.
Yeah.
And she said, and what brings you into Big Dan's? And I hope I'm not getting this story wrong, but I believe this is right. And she said that they were in from out of town, like Chicago or someplace, and they'd come in to see Nightmare in the Country.
Wow.
So, I mean, that makes you feel good.
No, absolutely.
Well, I know we've had people come into the museum that, in the past that, you kind of asked the same question. You said, "Well, we're actually here for the Nightmare in the Country."
Well, yeah, or just it's just nice as a community to have people coming into your establishment. That my understanding is that the Route 66 anniversary is this year.
It is.
Right?
Yep.
So my understanding is that there's a lot of outside tourism. Like from different countries and stuff. It's like on one of their top lists of things to do.
Yeah.
And so, I'm sure, we're not right on Route 66, but there's going to be people that are going to come in to travel that and take a little day trip to Woodward. And do some things.
I think you're right. I've kind of thought about that because we're not on the direct line, but I mean, we're close enough that I think we'll see some, people come through because of that Route 66 celebration. So I think that's amazing, and hopefully they do, and they can stop into your gallery as well.
Yeah,
for sure. And get that
you
out
got
there.
a great location for that gallery.
Yeah.
Certainly. Although I always hated it when Sue Ma closed that place down. That was the world's best fried chicken.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Yes.
Fried chicken and everyone always talks about her egg rolls.
Egg rolls.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was about to say
Someone
too.
else said the other day something about her mashed potatoes.
Yeah, they were pretty good too. Yeah.
Remember, they would just be the butter would just like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like they just threw butter on the top there and let it melt and you
And
dip it out.
She did ribs on Tuesdays, I think.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I remember that. Maybe, yeah.
And the ribs were just incredible. Oh, they were so good.
Well, I've been searching for some egg rolls. Haven't found any yet.
Yeah, not any like the ones she had. That's for sure. I've been searching myself and I haven't found anything quite like that.
Yeah.
But they were good. Boy, howdy.
Yeah.
She gave me a clipping off one of her jade plants. She saw me over there admiring it. And she just went and snipped one off and wrapped it in a little wet paper towel and gave it to me.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's amazing."
Yeah, she's
when
a sweet person.
Looked at the building. I first walked through. My building sold on Main Street, and I was kind of a man without a country for a couple 3 months. I thought, well, I'll just work out of my house, and you don't want to do that. I mean, I can't work out of my house. I mean,
you got to have some place to go.
Right? Distracted.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're at your computer. You're doing a deal, right? A real estate deal, and okay, another cup of coffee. So you walk to the kitchen, and as you walk to the kitchen, you notice that there's something on the floor. Oh, well, I need to vacuum. So you vacuum, and all of a sudden, well, I need to empty the vacuum. And then all of a sudden, you're outside emptying the, and then I mean. Well, what's that over there? And all of a sudden it's 3:00 and you've got nothing done.
Yep.
Yeah.
And your deal's sitting there on your desk, right? So I said, I got to get out. So I started looking for some places, and I had looked at that building and it required a lot of work. And I said, I can't do this. And so I was in there about 8 minutes, and I said, I can't make this work. But looked at a couple of other places, and I said, I'm going to revisit this. And I walked back in and kind of looked at it with a different eye and said, I could do this, and put a door here and open this into a gallery and did it. And so it worked out really nice. So it is a good location. I'm very,
it's a great location.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm just glad to see the place being utilized, because it is such a great location and a really nice building, and for you to be able to kind of have that as like your hub for the gallery and your real estate, I think that's really cool. And then being the artist that you are, you got artwork up in there, so
I am very happy that I am able to properly display it.
Oh, it makes
you're
a
an
world of
artist
difference.
as well.
Yep.
And so I've noticed that just in the proper in a proper space with the proper lighting and the proper venue, it takes on a whole new life of its own.
It really does.
I'm seeing things in my paintings that I haven't seen properly since I painted them, or even before I painted them. Someone was talking to me about my Anubis painting, and the gold and this stuff that, and she pointed out to me, I thought, it does look kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I got this other artist in there, Jared Ray.
Yep.
And Jared's work. Oh my goodness!
I own a few pieces.
Oh,
yeah.
He amazes me.
Yeah.
He just amazes me. He's got 2 or 3 in who I mind myself, but the light and there's this the Indian, one of his Indian paintings. Oh my goodness, the way the light hits the wrinkles and
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, it's amazing.
beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I've got a couple of his pieces as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be owning a couple
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Well, he, is a tattoo artist, and I actually had him do a piece, so I am walking around with some of his art on me.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, a friend of mine, he did the Universal Monsters.
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
they're
unbelievable.
that is an amazing tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very impressed with that. Dang.
So it was good. It was good to connect with him. I connected with
Yes.
him through you.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I'd come in to my friend had told me, she said, you need to go to see Amber's Jared's work. So I did, and she said, well, maybe you should call him. And I think you said, yeah, I'll call him.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I'm very, very pleased.
Yeah,
I'm looking at getting some other artists in there. So I'd like to have more artists, and it's not going to be focused strictly on Western art. I don't want people to think it's just Western art, because it's not. It's just kind of...
Yeah, that's the name of the gallery, but it sounds like you're gonna kind of feature artists in all
Right.
what would you call that?
Well,
Disciplines
I told
or
someone, if I like it, it'll probably hang there.
yeah.
And I think that's
Yeah.
I had hung some pieces in a gallery out in Tucson, and I asked her, I said, how do you choose art for your gallery? And she said, well, first of all, I have to like it. And then she said, then I've got to feel like that you're doing this as a profession, or that you're just not an amateur,
Right, right.
just throwing up stuff, so she gave me some really good advice, though. She said,
that's great.
she said, you've got to paint every day. And I think that's true with everything, right? Whatever you're doing, if you want to be good at it, you just got to stay in the game. Right?
Yep. Absolutely. I have this poem that I wrote called "I Make Things You Don't Buy."
You read that to me, didn't
right?
you? Yes,
I think I did.
You did, yeah.
And in that I talk about how it it's taken me years to perfect this craft, and and people don't think of it like that. You're not paying me for the what's that saying? Paying me for the hours that I learned it, or not for the actual piece or material or whatever. You get what I'm saying? There's a perfect way to say it that I totally eludes me right now, but I always think that's interesting because
saying, yeah.
you do spend hours, doing and perfecting and creating and
well, and what a lot of people don't realize, but you as an artist do, it's not just on that piece. It's the multiple hours you spent over your entire life learning what to do.
Yes, exactly.
Why the juxtaposition of the lights and the darks.
Right.
When I found myself, since I really started painting again a lot, when I'm driving down the road, I'm seeing the darks and the lights and this color and that color, and and I kind of got out of that for a while. You go to work every day and you're worried about this deal or this or that, but when you really take the time when you're driving down the road, you go, isn't that cool how that yellow hits that side of that?
I understand that so hard. When I was actually driving back from Alva this morning, and I was talking to Brett, and I said, for it being, when the kind of the dead of winter, even though it's really not feeling much like it is, but everything's dead. But I was telling him, I was like, the color palette that I'm looking at out here right now is just amazing, and I'm thinking, okay, I want to take a picture, and then it's inspiring sometimes to, just look at the world through your creative eyes and not lose that to the hustle and bustle, you know what I mean? And appreciate those things. Like you're saying, seeing the colors and the contrast and everything.
I was coming back from a Shattuck with my mom the other day, and I looked out across the pasture, and that grass, it must have been like a Bermuda grass. It was the most gorgeous, off-white, yellowish color. And to just cap it off, there was like a herd of black Angus cattle out. It was like picture perfect. You know, there was I'm seeing all sorts of stuff like that now.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll be driving along and be like, I need to take a picture of that, you know, like I need to capture that. And there are instances where I've pulled over on the side of the road and I've taken the picture, you know, I try to, you know, make the time for it. Sometimes it's like I don't have the time, but if I do, I try to actually be present and take the time to do that, because if not,
And you paint acrylics, right?
Yeah.
Acrylics, okay.
Yeah.
I think Jared is acrylics.
Yes, I think he is too.
I
Yeah.
like oils. I've never. I've tried acrylics, but they dry too fast for me.
Yeah, yeah, and I like acrylics because what I'm doing, sometimes I like that it dries faster. Because I mean I work predominantly abstract, and so colors and flow and all that. So sometimes it's like, okay, I need you to dry so I can carry on. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit around and wait for it. Sometimes though, it is fun to, you know, work with the paint before it gets too dry and kind of mix the colors together. But I've never really got into oil.
Well, the problem with oil is if you work it too much, it just it turns out gross. I had lady the other day, I said, let me show you this one I'm working on the back. I said, there's something wrong with it. I said, I can't tell what's wrong with it. I said, I think I hate it. And I worked with it for, I started about 2 years ago, and I picked it up a couple times and picked it up just recently. And so she came back, I said, what's wrong with it? And she said, well, hon, you've reworked it to death. So, you know, there's sometimes you just have to know when to, you know, when it's done, right? You got to know when it's done and walk away from it. And stop, lift your brush.
My grandpa would refer to that as having good quitting sense. Exactly. So, I always thought that was funny. But, I am a little curious about, you said you started painting when you were 12?
Yes.
Or, okay.
So, and I took some art lessons from Mrs. Cummings in high school. Remember Mrs. Cummings? Sure. And I think I took a class with from Mrs. Lording as well. Junior high, right?
Yeah, that poor woman got passed around the school system. Yeah, she got passed around. She was a science teacher for a while. She may even have taught math at some point. And then I only recently heard that she had started, she was an art teacher. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool.
One of my art teachers, I think.
Yeah. So you didn't do private lessons?
Well, that's what I was going to tell you. I had somehow mom had found, or dad had found, one of them had found out that Gene Howe had a little art studio and artist supply shop. And so I went down there.
That's where my sister went.
That's right. Tammy. Yeah. And she helped me do my first 3 or 4 paintings with the classes. And I actually have it hanging out there, the first one I ever did. But so I really kind of got my real start of love for oil painting with Gene Howe. And then I didn't really pursue it until I ended up, it was kind of always in the back of my mind, but I ended up moving to Minnesota in 1992. So this was what, maybe 20 years later.
Yeah.
And I can remember it was so cold up there.
Yeah.
How cold was it?
So it was like -8 degrees for like 2 weeks in a row, and the snow, and you couldn't get to work. And my poor neighbor had come out, and she was like, had this snowblower, and I went out and said, "Thank you," because I wasn't prepared to live up there. I was up there for 2 years. But it was during that time that I remember being snowed in on a Saturday. I was flipping channels, and I stumbled across Bob Ross. And Bob Ross started, I think he started a lot of people onto, and I said, I miss that. I want to do that again. So that's why I started painting again. And then I took a couple of classes in Denver when I moved back to Denver. And then when I accepted a job in Tucson, Arizona, that's when it happened for me. I mean, I was 40 years old at the time, and that is when I really got the burning desire to become a painter, and I was painting a lot. I was painting a lot back then. And so I think you kind of tie that to the community you're at. There was a lot of art galleries.
Sure.
And then there was Tubac, Arizona is just about, 50 miles south of, and that's like a little arts community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when and then I met my business partner. We decided to open up a piano store together. And he was an artist and I was an artist. And we said, hey, let's put art and music together. So we opened up Encore Artisan Pianos and Fine Art. And our tagline was art for the ear and music to the eyes, or something like that.
Oh, that's great. I
we
like
were open
that.
for a while, and it was going great. And in 2005, we closed it, and I moved back to Denver. But it was a good time in my life. But that's when I started painting, and that was actually the year that that first painting night. It was 2001, 2000. You'll probably know this when you've done something, you've accomplished something, and you step back and go, oh, wow, I did that. It's those little times in your life that you go, wow, they're like little validations.
Yeah.
And I had that with a painting, and I had never had that with a painting before. And I knew that at that time that, albeit whatever amount of talent it was, I had a little bit of talent. And I remember standing back and go, oh, wow, I did that. So, it just, and so then I kind of put painting, I painted a little bit when I moved back to Denver. And then when I moved down here, I got my real estate license. And and then Nightmare in the Country I got Nightmare in the Country started. And I didn't have time to paint.
Yeah. Oh, I bet not.
Yeah.
So, just in the last year or so, I said it's time to focus on some different things.
Yeah, you kind of seem to me kind of like what I like to do is bounce around in my creative endeavors, because I like to paint, I like to write. Sometimes I want to make jewelry, sometimes I want to go take pictures. And sometimes you find yourself kind of honed into one for a while, and then you kind of switch gears and get honed into the other one for a while, and go back and forth. And I don't know. I see a lot of artists that kind of do one thing, and they do one thing really well. Not that they can't do other things, but I'm just like, I can't do that. I've got to do all these. I've got to do all these things. I like to do all the things,
And you
I can't just.
I don't know if it was you that said something, or maybe somebody the other day said something, because I said something to someone. I said, I thought I'm still trying to find my style. And whoever it was said, oh, don't ever say that. Was it you?
I don't know. I don't.
I said, I'm still trying to find my style, because you look at all my art.
Yeah.
I've got stuff that looks completely different, right?
Yeah.
This painting looks completely different from this one. This one's very realistic. This one's very abstract. And they said, "Oh, never say that. It's just whatever comes out, right?"
Yeah.
Don't pigeonhole yourself into one area. But I've really been blessed because I feel like I feel like I'm a little bit creative with music and acting and stuff.
Yes.
It's just a gift God has given me, I guess. So.
Well, and it's really great. I notice in everything that you've kind of done, Kenton, is you've always just had that bit of creativity thrown in there, and I love that. I encourage people to allow that to be a part of their life if they're creative, is to not. Sometimes you get so busy with job and life, and to me, life is art, and so I like to allow it to be there always, and not to lose that. And I notice with, Nightmare in the Country and your, gallery, yeah, you're a realtor, but you still, and you go down to the arts theater and you act and you still hang on to those bits of creativity. And I think that's great because sometimes as artists, I think you get busy with life and creating kind of takes a back seat. And
one of the really nice things about this new space, and I found myself doing it. I mean, I can work on real estate in the morning, and if nothing's happening in the afternoon, back there and grab a brush and just
start painting.
It's a good space. I invite you guys out anytime you want to come out. Invite the audience to come out.
Absolutely.
It's I want it to be a very welcoming, very kind of a peaceful, just, like art galleries should be. I mean, you walk in and just be inspired and
absolutely
enjoy.
Now, as I understand it, you've bisected the building. You have your real estate on one side and the art gallery on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I think after Moz had it, there's another company that came in and they had like energy drinks and stuff on one side. They actually divided the building into half.
Okay.
And so I took the half of the building that they had did their energy drinks in, did some remodeling in there, put another bathroom in there and did some things. And that I turned into my real estate offices and my Nightmare in the Country production offices.
Okay.
The other half, which is basically the dining room, the main dining room.
Sure.
I remember when you used to walk in and there was the counter there, and then all that dining room to the left.
Right.
That they had put up a wall there, and that is what I turned into the gallery. So the gallery is about 1,800 square feet.
Wow.
It's a good size for sure.
Yeah. And good because I paint big. I have some,
yes.
So
yeah, no, and it's the space is very welcoming, I think. And I mean, you just had your grand opening officially back on Thursday or the 15th of January, and you said you had about 50 people, which I think is great.
Signed.
Yeah. So you may have had more that came through, but for sure 50 people signed your guest book. I showed up and you had great food.
Thank you.
You did a great job on that for sure. But just seeing, because I mean I'd been there before, but seeing other people in there experiencing the space and the art was cool. Because a few times I've been there, it's just been me. So it was nice to see other people enjoy it, and nice to have another place here in Northwest Oklahoma to experience art.
Yeah.
So we don't have a lot of that, I feel like. Where there's a lot of creatives here, a lot of artists, but places to share it, and that's kind of slim.
Well, Robin and Mikel and I were talking earlier a few days ago, and I think you might appreciate this too. I remember someone said one time, they said, I bet you would be really upset if someone opened a haunted house right next door to yours. And I said, I don't think so, because if you're living in, let's say, Oklahoma City, and you're going to say, where are we going to go this weekend to a haunted house? Well, there's one in Woodward and there's 6 in Tulsa. Well, where are people going to go? Right? They're going to head to Tulsa because there's a much broader, more places to see. So I don't think so. And so I was telling Mikel, wouldn't it be awesome to have like 6, 7, 8 little galleries in Woodward?
Yeah.
I mean,
that would be cool.
I mean, that's the way Tubac, Arizona is. I mean, we all know little arts communities. And so my goal would be to help Woodward create a destination for art and things of that nature. And the museum is so rich. I mean, all on stuff down there. I mean, it is so, we are so lucky to have that. And
I truly believe that. And being somebody who didn't like grow up here directly, being a part of it and being able to carry that on. I mean, we're 60 years. The museum's been there this year, and I just think that's amazing.
When it opened?
Yes,
I do too. It was 72, right?
66.
66, yeah. But I think I remember it. I remember them building the building, and I thought it was so cool because it had the rounded front.
Yes.
It had the rounded front. And that was...
Yeah, it's very cool. I have people come in, and they'll be like, was this built to be the museum? Like, I get that question all the time from visitors, which I think is kind of interesting because, there's a lot of museums that are inhabiting old buildings that were something else, but ours truly was built to be a museum, and I just think that's really neat. And I also think that, the gallery in the museum, your gallery, Larry's gallery, like they all have their own experience, their own, I feel like seeing art, say when we had Jared at the museum, experience his art in our gallery, and then I went and experienced his art in your gallery, and it was some of the same pieces were there, but I saw them almost differently, like in a good way. It's they all have their unique, I feel like
I feel the same.
Unique pieces to it.
The same way about Jared's art, but mainly I feel even the same about my art. Like I said earlier, I'm seeing my art in a different light because it just, if you properly hang a piece and it's properly lit, you're going to appreciate a lot more. And a lot of the big paintings I had before were in my office on Main Street, but the office hallway, right? It was like 3 feet wide. So you're looking at 48 by 60 painting.
Can't back
3
up.
feet away. You can't. So with fluorescent lights across it. So it just, they feel better to me now. Proper place.
Yeah. And that does make all the difference. And lighting really can bring out so much more in a piece that you may not notice just hanging on a wall.
Yeah, sure.
Which
I was in there Thursday or no, Friday, and I started thinking, well, maybe this place is haunted because the wind, the wind was blowing. So bad. I mean, I'm hearing all noises in there all over the place, and so I don't know if I've got like some wind coming in between the ceiling and
right.
Maybe making some thinking. I'm sure that's just the wind, right?
Right. You're like, maybe it is a little haunted. So you said that you're working on rehearsal for a production or musical that you're going to be in March.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
On Stage Woodward is doing their this is their adult production year, basically. 1 year they kind of focus on the Onstage Woodward kids side of Onstage Woodward. This year, we're doing a musical called Disaster, and it's based on all of the old disaster movies from the 70s.
Oh, cool!
Like Earthquake, Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno. Ben, remember Ben?
Oh,
the rats.
Mhm.
So whatever disaster movies came out, but they've tied that with a bunch of older 70s music. So
That's cool.
stuff and song Sky High and Feelings and Torn Between Two Lovers and all that song. So it is a hoot. And I haven't laughed at a rehearsal like this. It is going to be so much fun.
I'm looking forward to it. I usually go to all the productions for the most part.
And where is that?
The Woodward Arts Theater.
Okay.
Yeah. We've Woodward Arts Theater and Onstage Woodward are working closely together now. And so
that's wonderful.
Yeah. I think you'll enjoy the production. It's humorous. It's very funny, but it just kind of memory lane when you hear some of those songs.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. I love a good musical. I'm not a singer really. I mean, I can carry a tune in a bucket, kind of. But I definitely like music is definitely something that I just love. So no, I can't carry a tune, but so I really love to go to musicals. I'm looking forward to it.
If they'll allow me, I may be tap dancing too.
That's exciting. See, I want to see some of that.
I need to give me some tap shoes or something.
Yeah, I told you I had taken an adult class and I had got some, and I had taken tap as a kid, and then I did it again as an adult, and I was like, you know what, this is actually harder than I remember it being. It is. You think it wouldn't be as hard as it is in a weird way.
When we were rehearsing today, I was doing the motions, and then we did it again, and I noticed that Heather was doing something a little bit different, and so I actually started moving my legs the way they were supposed to move, and it felt better. I mean, so I think it's conditioning your body.
Yes, there's that
to do the movements correctly,
right?
Instead of just attempting to do the movement.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of a different dance, I guess. Usually it's tap dancing. It's kind of its own little animal, so you do have to kind of figure out how to make those movements, and then those movements are making the sound, and you can kind of tell when you're off because
well, and I'm a little bit scared of dancing because back when we did Wizard of Oz, it was that next rodeo parade. I think Onstage Woodward and some of the Nightmare in the Country people geared up, and we did the Thriller dance.
Oh yeah,
down the street of Maine, and I watched them. I mean, I was the one that was kind of telling what to do, or someone else was. I don't remember what happened, but I kind of orchestrated it, and it was a big deal. But about 30-45 minutes before we did it, I said, I'm not doing this down Main Street. I'm gonna embarrass myself. So I didn't do it. Right. So kind of know when there's certain things you can do and certain things you can't. Sure. That thriller dance is hard.
Yeah. It's a little tricky.
Yeah.
I love that dance though. So bust out in the Thriller dance anytime. I actually think I was at that parade. Now that you say that,
it could have been. Yeah,
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
so
float. I used to try to do a float every year for Nightmare, but even that's work. I mean, getting the tractor ready to go, and
absolutely
pulling the trailer in, on a hot July morning. And I don't. This is like the first winter days we've had last couple of days. It seems like it's been so.
It's been pretty nice. Yeah, it's been.
We're in one of those cycles. I think tomorrow it's supposed to be. Tomorrow I think is supposed to be really nice, and then it nosedives again, and then it comes back. And
that's.
We're just in this weird sort of cycle, I guess.
Yeah. Rain. It'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. Maybe we need to do a rain dance.
There we go.
I don't dance other than tap. I mean, I'm learning tap.
Other than tap.
But no one's ever taught me rain dancing.
That's funny. Well, I'll have to figure that out because we need some.
Do you do rain dancing? Do you know how to do rain dancing?
I not really, but I feel like I could learn. I can actually dance. I'm not a triple threat because I can't sing.
Oh,
but I can act and dance. I got those two things.
So we need to get you on the stage.
Yeah, I do need to do that, and but not in a musical.
Okay, we'll just.
I'm gonna have to the next time there is auditions for something. I am considering doing it. I mean, my grandpa was a theater professor at Emporia State, so I grew up in the theater. Everybody in that side of the family is very much theater geeks, I would say. Not a bad thing because I am too. But yeah, the singing part I'm just not good at. But
we were talking about rain dancing earlier, and maybe you guys know this, but it seems like when I was growing up in the 70s, they used to have cloud seeders come through, and they used to like drop. And I always thought, I think my dad would go to the meetings, and it was a big thing because it was supposed to work, and they paid this a group of. You may remember this, but they paid a bunch of the farmers paid this guy to seed the clouds. And I thought that it was a little wacko. I never really thought that was true. But I'm reading recently, but it actually does help.
Oh yeah,
right. That you're dropping ions or something into. So,
and I remember there was one summer they got so desperate that they hired a Cheyenne who was he was a medicine man or holy man. And he came to town, and they paid him money, and he actually set up down in what is now Centennial Park, and did a dance down there. He had snakes, and he would
really
do all this stuff and jump around. It didn't rain, which was darn shame.
It was. That would have been cool if it did.
There was a drought, I guess, in 1957, 58.
Yeah.
And Dwight D. Eisenhower flew into the airport, and he actually came to where I live now. It was the
Peoples Farm.
Peoples Farm. Yeah, Carl Peoples.
Yep.
And I've got 3 pictures of him.
Oh, neat.
Standing there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
On the farm. And Carl's daughter, I talked to her, she said that his mom asked the president, well, we'd like to come in for some tea or something. He said, no, I've got to be going. And so he wasn't there very long. But it's kind of neat to know that Dwight Eisenhower was on my place.
Yeah, that is actually really cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool piece. I knew that he had come here.
There's so much history, and then I guess Hopalong Cassidy was here, or something.
Oh, really?
Oh, I didn't know about that.
No, it wasn't Hopalong Cassidy. Down at the theater, he came in. Maybe it was
Foreman Scotty did. Do you remember Foreman Scotty?
I do. He was my hero, man.
Circle 4 Ranch.
Yeah, and he had his sidekick was
well, there were 2 of them. There was Cannonball, and then Willie.
Yes, yeah, and then Danny Kaye. What did he? He was
Willie.
Okay, yeah. Wow, we're showing our age, Robin.
I know.
We're still young, aren't we?
You are.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah, young at heart for sure.
The thing that really strikes me is that I get people all the time. I got on a bus. There was one of the class reunions was going on, and these people were from, I think they were class of 74 maybe. And they'd ask if I could get on the bus, and they were touring around town, and they wanted me to point out various things. historic buildings, that sort of thing. And when we got off, this woman came up to me. I couldn't even tell you who she was. And she said, "So your class is 76? And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "And we're class of 74. I said, "Yeah." She said, "Why do you look so much younger than the rest of us?" And I was like, clean living.
Do you remember the disc jockey, the round building?
Yes.
That used to sit right there.
I was telling her about that the other day.
I would love to find a picture of that. Maybe
we don't have it.
I was like, I think somebody else has asked about that before.
Because it wasn't around very long. It was only around for 3 or 4 years, I think. But that's where the Great Plains Bank sits now. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right. Yep.
I love looking through all those, and I'll go online and look up the postcards. And there's I'm loving that there's a Facebook page that has all these old pictures.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've been seeing those too. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
All right.
Well, Kenton,
thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been
visiting with us.
It's been a real treat talking to you, and
I hope I didn't talk your leg off.
Oh no, absolutely not. No, very very interesting stuff. I learned several things I didn't know about you. I honestly I moved here in 2011, and so you were already here. I did not realize that you had moved away and come back. So I think I learned something new, and it's very interesting to hear your story.
You gotta come home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're kind of out in the world and you don't know where can I light? And
right.
Yeah. Right. And plus everything's fairly affordable, and it's a great place to be from.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Okay. So
guys,
thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed that. If you have any questions for either Mikey or myself about today's episode or any other darn thing, you can email us at mr.robin@mrrobinshood.com or Mikey at mrrobinshood.com. Also, you can find us on Facebook at Mr. Robin's Hood Podcast. As always, you can also reach out to Mikey or me via Podophone at 580-827-1113. Maybe you just want to get something off your chest, or you're feeling some butt pain because of something we said during a podcast. Give us a call. Unless, of course, you're that weirdo living in his van in a darkened alley while acting as the hub for underground feline distribution, in which case you'll want to contact Mikey directly. Still, just keep in mind that we aren't likely to answer, but you can leave a voicemail. Text us if you have a question, concern, complaint, compliment, suggestion, whatever. Just don't be a dick about it. In the meantime, tell all your friends to stream this podcast as though their lives depend upon it. As always, you can stream or download episodes of Mr. Robin's Hood Podcast wherever you usually find that sort of nonsense. We're back on Spotify with audio only, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, the Podbean app, Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Listen Notes, and Podchaser. You can also stream them directly from our Podbean website at mrrobinshoodpodcast.podbean.com for free. And actually, Kenton mentioned that he got a chance to see our YouTube channel, which we need to do a little more to kind of develop that. So we'll close now by reminding everyone, as we always do, to
stay hungry, stay foolish, and most importantly, stay weird.
But stay out of vans and darkened alleys. Bye.
Later.